squeaky chair. I will oil it someday. Sometimes when I'm editing my videos, when I'm getting up to go get things and bring it back, I time the edit so the squeak of the chair gets cut out because I find it annoying. I'm sorry if it annoys you. It only just occurred to me that I could oil it. Hi, how are you? Happy New Year. Chip. Come here, Chip. New Year, Chip. I know he's not happy. He's never... What's out there? He's never happy with me dragging him into this. Anyway, so I had all those dolls to seal. I have crossed over 500 subscribers, thank you, which means I need to figure out how to finish her. I'm watching Chip. And then figure out how to do a giveaway. No progress on RoboKira, but I have Chip. Anyway, so I went down and had another airbrush session with the clear sealant satin. So my dinosaur and my Dimetrodon, Synapsid, are sealed. And again, I am really happy with all the way these colors work together. And after the kiddos in school, I might start going to the thrift store again to see if I can find more of these things. Or I might just save it for the future and not thrift for a while because I have so many things that I could do. Like I said, dolls and sewing and lots of projects that I could be doing. I don't need to buy more, but you know, buying is so much faster than making. So I have sealed and painted, well, yeah, she'd already only needed to be sealed. I put her quickly in this, I think it's a Monster High dress and some Stacy shoes. I want to make a dress for her that's probably like black lace. I don't know why, that just was the first thing I thought of when people started asking me about clothes for her. So, like I said, nothing done to her but sealing. I'm still careful to put her on down when I'm laying her flat on cloth. And then this doll, this is the one with the gray body with the gold acrylic top coat on it. I have painted her face, trying to be 1960s kind of style. She has a little bit of eyeliner wings. Makes a very simple face. John had suggested that I go for something like Gem and the Hologram Synergy type on her, and if I had more confidence in my painting skills, I would have. He also suggested that I start using a wet watercolor pencil or even just straight up watercolor on a paintbrush to sketch out features, which is a good idea, but I haven't done it yet. So I got her together. Her hair is still wet because I was trying to get it flattened out around her hairline, which I'm always a little worried about doing over painted, completely painted dolls because I don't know if the boiling water is going to lift up the paint on the skin tone, so trying to keep it just on the hair. I'm reasonably happy with the way she turned out. She got better once she got dressed. So she'll be in my collection for a while. I haven't photographed her yet. I don't know if she'll stick around forever, but she'll be here for a while at least. And it's not like I can't make another doll with a gray base and gold on top. I actually have another head. It's the same sculpt. I think this was used a lot in Fairytopia with aqua hair. It has some purple streaks I might take out. But I was thinking I would like to do sort of a fantasy skin tone color on that one too, but I wasn't sure. And then I got into my husband's airbrush ready paints for another project that I will get to, and he has acrylic copper, which I think maybe, I don't know if it would be the gray base tone, but I did not get any toys when we ran around Walmart today, but this kid down here did, and he'd like to show it to you.
Hi. Let me get up.
Yeah. There's not a lot of room. I have some boxes.
Hello.
So you're going to show him who you got?
Meowth.
Meowth. This is the Mega Bloks Meowth that comes in the Pokeball.
And it's dancing.
And he's dancing. Is he dabbing?
No, he's just dancing.
Okay. And was he easy to put together?
It was quick, but just a tad bit hard. He's very fragile.
Yes, he is a little delicate. He seems like every time you move a limb, it falls off, or at least his legs. But you might eventually get used to the way it feels. Of course, we can glue it together.
No, but then I couldn't move it.
Well, I mean, glue together the parts that hold the moving parts together without actually gluing the whole thing together. But then that's cheating on, I know, this construction toys.
Mine.
Bye.
Oh, milk.
Oh, you miss some milk.
And Polly mix.
Excuse me.
Please.
So he's not strong enough to lift a full jug of milk by himself, so he needs a little help. Here's... So anyway, I think I was talking about the other one of these with aqua hair that it finally occurred to me that I could give her a copper shimmer skin, and that might go well with the aqua hair. I think I might be over this burst of hair. As husband points out, I need to airbrush a little bit at a time instead of going down there with an armload of projects and spending 4 hours airbrushing. But I'm still trying to work my brain to work on little projects instead of doing everything at once. Learning, always learning. Okay, and then I thought, since, I don't know if you can see it back there, the dude that I glued the yarn hair, the curly salt and pepper yarn hair, was pretty popular, so I thought I would do another yarn hair doll pretty quick, another doll who'd been sitting around, although she needs a face paint, with no hair, and I kept thinking that I wanted to glue short light pink yarn hair on her. And I used to have this light pink yarn that I was thinking of, but I don't know if I used it all or gave it to somebody. I no longer have it, and none of the other yarns are quite what I was looking for, so I thought, I will sculpt her some hair. So I got out the epoxy putty and messed around with it. I'm not great at sculpting, and this still needs to be cleaned up because there's some rough spots because I was working with it when it was getting a little bit too set up to work with. But here she is. It's the Disney Pocahontas with some short putty hair that I intend to paint light pink. I don't know why I was so focused on her having light pink hair, but... And she's on one of those made-to-move bodies I got for $7 in clearance last year, and wasn't greedy and bought them all, and then I decided I would be greedy and buy them all. Someone else had, so... Of course, I'm still waiting for the curvy made-to-moves to finally reach America without John's help. John has been finding them in Australia and buying them and trading them with people in America because he knows he's got what we want. Anyway, so I'm not going to fool myself into thinking that I can mask off this regular hairline and airbrush her hair. I will be doing a regular brush painting. And then, so it took almost no time at all to do the sealant on the stuff I was sealing. So I thought, well, you know, since I tend to airbrush things for 4 hours at a time, this has only taken like half an hour, I need to do something else. So I had 2 dolls sitting around that I thought that needed to be airbrushed. And I brought the first one downstairs, and the thing is, part of the reason these dolls have been sitting around is because I didn't know what I wanted to do with them. So I brought the first one down, still no clear idea what I was doing with it, and looked at the paint I had mixed up from the airbrush already and said, you know what, I'm just going to use the paint that's there, I'm not going to mix up anything new, I'm not going to think about what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start painting. And so I eventually ended up with this sort of purple watermelon Hujo Freya. And since she is just sealed with the airbrushed clear acrylic satin, it's not the best seal, and I've already scraped some little bits of the paint off, but I don't mind too much. I'll just try to be careful in the future. And I am still considering going through maybe with the brush and giving like fur details and everything, so maybe she's not finished. But here she is. And she had some cat-like eyes in them, but I don't know if they're DIY eyes or DIY or whatever those are called, but they were normal human eyes with lots of sclera and a little cat eye in the middle. And if you know me, I'm not really fond of seeing sclera on cat eyes because on real cats you don't see the sclera. That's the whites of the eyes. So I had this set of silicone eyes that somebody had given me in this obviously dark gray. And since they're big enough that most of the sclera is not visible, they're good for now. I do have some vintage craft cat eyes that are about the right size, but I would need to like put a little bit of extra stuff on the back to make them.
Can I get my Meowth back?
You want your Meowth back?
Yes. And dance on the Pokeball.
Dance on the Pokeball again. So, randomness. I know that's not exactly... I was talking about the eyes. Either I will make those vintage eyes work, but they're golden yellow, which is not exactly what I want for her. But these silicone eyes are okay. So, I painted her, the base paint, and then after I finished all the airbrushing, I came up and I did the detail. I said, I'm still not good with BJD proper general. The way BJDs are painted tends to be very soft edged and feathery and natural, and my painting style is most comfortable mimicking factory paint styles from the 60s, which doesn't really apply to BJDs very well, if only because the inset eyes. I like painting simplified eyes. That's why I know my style of doll painting doesn't appeal to a lot of people, because I don't do the hyperrealism. For one thing, I can't do the hyperrealism, but this isn't sour grapes. It's not, well, I can't do it, so it's not good. It is good. The hyperrealism is amazing. I am amazed with all these people who can paint with hyperrealism, whether they're using only acrylics or if they're using colored pencils and pastels and all the things that I can't do. Good job, just not my style. So as you can see, I tried to get feathered eyebrows, but then when it came to the, I don't know if that purple is eyeliner or eyeshadow, I just did a big solid stroke of it, and the blue inner eyebrow in her eye crease, which was inspired by John's suggestion for just a little line of blue over each of these eyes. So, and then I had some human fake lashes. I tend to buy them after Halloween when they're on clearance to save for dolls. So it had this pair I actually cut out and used on another doll, and they were just the right size to use on her. So there she is. I'm just calling her Freya, which is her, you know, the stock name. This is a Hujo Freya. Because like I said before, I only name my dolls for file keeping purposes. I don't write stories for my dolls. It's just not how my brain works. So, I thought, well, I have this other BJD that's been standing on my desk since June, waiting for paint. I might as well try to paint her. But again, I am not mixing up custom paint. I'm just using what's there. Which, this is when I looked, you know, I had all, there's this shelf we keep airbrush ready paint on. And I had my ridiculous jars of paint with like tiny amounts in it that, you know, I told you last time that some of the jars that sat there so long that the paint looked bad. Well, these were mostly ready, freshly mixed jars with a little bit of paint left in them, and a little bit of paint goes a long way with airbrushing. And then there were husband's jars of war, you know, war games and model paint, much more serious colors. But there were still a few of those. That's where I found the copper and a red that I used. Actually, the gray for her base came from that too. It's handy to have someone else with a similar hobby. It doesn't completely overlap, so there are useful things you can get out of it. So anyway, I just started using colors that were there already, and I have finally painted Mirolah Mica. It's not the best face up because I'm still learning this, but I had fun with her. And if you know about Mirolah, the darker skin, the color tends to be really splotchy and irregular because they've done some sanding, which is just enough to take off the surface slightly darker resin color and expose a slightly lighter color. But I have put enough other color on top of everything that his husband would come by every once in a while and see what I was doing. He says that like the collarbones had some, yes, I know she's dressed and you can't really see what I'm doing. The collarbones had the severe sanding on, were way lighter, but he said that they actually just look like highlights. See, him coming from miniatures, to him the idea of just leaving plastic bare, even if it's already skin tone, is just weird to him. He is used to painting highlights and shadow and skin tone, and like you can't do a skin tone on a miniature without using at least 3 colors. So he was offering miniatures painting suggestion. Now miniatures are usually about this big, so a few times he did look at this and said that's just too big. But I had fun painting this, and I think I managed to cover up a lot of the irregular skin tones from the sanding, or at least put enough other paint on them that they don't look like they're irregular skin tones from their sanding. And I still need to get the glue out of her eyelashes because I was in a kind of a hurry when I did it. And actually this is a fake eyelash from a set that had glitter on the base. And the glitter was like on a piece of tape, double-sided tape, so I peeled that off, but there's still a few stray pieces of glitter that are like stuck in eyelash glue and the regular glue, and I need to get the glitter out of her eyes. But I tried that method I'd seen online. I could not find the post again to get the eyebrows even. You take a piece of paper and you fold it in half and you make even marks equidistant from each other, and then you like cut a hole for the nose and put that over the face and just draw a line over those marks and then build the eyebrows around that. I still managed to get them a little off center. Initially, I think I compensated for it. I still managed to get them a third of the way up her forehead, not halfway up her forehead, like I tend to paint when I'm left completely freehand. But for me, these are low eyebrows. Let's see if I can get her close to the camera. Not great, but like I said, I am not one for painting BJDs, and I am still learning. This is only the second, well, third, if you count her. 4th, if you count this kitty, who was painted a completely different way, so I don't think you should. So this is like only the 3rd BJD I've painted since admitting that I can't paint BJDs like this. Because I had some in the past that I tried painting in stark, no blushing at all, trying to imitate Barbie style, and it didn't work. And because I couldn't get them painted in a way that looked good, I thought I just didn't like BJDs at all. And then when I finally got one that was painted well, that made me realize, oh, it's not the BJDs that I have a problem with, it's the painting style. So I think I'm getting better. It's not great. I don't think I've developed a style yet besides a whole bunch of airbrushing. And I don't know if you can tell, the sun's back out a little bit, maybe it's shining, that she has copper sparkles. And when the copper started to get low in the paint mixing cup on the airbrush, I just went ahead and added all the rest of the iridescent that I coated these with. And she's actually coated with the iridescent too, because why not? So she has sparkles. And I really hadn't had a personality for her, but as I was painting, it's like, oh, she just got into the body glitter. Well, that's her personality, and that does fit with my other dolls. So I haven't taken proper pictures of her yet. I haven't taken proper pictures of anybody because I've been working on her. And I don't know if she's sealed very well, and I completely forgot to do her fingernails, so I still need to paint her fingernails. And I'm already getting scratches and scrapes on the ends of her fingers, on her palms, but that's okay. Like I said, I just used the paints I had around. This was the paint that I'd used when I did that adding knee articulation to a curvy experiment. So for using odds and ends paint in something that I really don't know what I'm doing, I think she turned out okay. Like I said, she's not great. I know that I'm not great. I might sound defensive about this. I had a dream where somebody, group of people without the best intentions, got hold of my pictures of these two, and they were trying to make me feel bad for not painting them well. And my reaction in the dream was, I know I didn't paint him well. Why are you harping on me? So, but she's finally painted. I started her on the last day of the year. Not because I thought, I need to get this doll painted before the end of the year, but because it was a Sunday, and apparently Sunday is when I airbrush dolls. I don't think I'm going to airbrush dolls again this Sunday, but since most of the dolls I've airbrushed, I haven't planned to airbrush until I was like down there airbrushing them. We'll see. And I hope you had a happy new year. Oh hey, wait, I completely forgot. I got a box! I thought it was just going to be interesting Japanese flavored Kit Kats, but there's something else in here. From Screen Name Master Kuriyami. Thank you. I will be sending something as thanks. I will say I was all ready to start mailing out thanks doll clothes and stuff today. Then I looked at my PayPal balance. Well, see, I haven't been selling things and I haven't been buying things, so there's enough in there for me to get gas. I get gas out of PayPal with my PayPal debit card, so if there happens to be a skimmer on the gas pump, they're not going to get much. But I also like to use PayPal to pay for online postage, and that wasn't going to happen with the need to get gas. So I've got more stuff on eBay, so hopefully I won't be able to procrastinate sending thanks stuff much longer. Okay, great. Sloppy bear paper. Okay, and the jingles, yes, there are any number of cat toys in here. Which, the cat who's our outside cat, who I've been lobbying to bring inside, but initially we had the angry cat, and now Chip is old. Chip's gonna be 15 this year. And, I mean, he's in good shape, but still, it's making it hard to believe he's gonna be 15. Anyway, so the normally outside cat, we put her in the garage every night to keep her safe and in the winter to keep her warm, but it's been so cold that husband has said, okay, she can stay in the basement. So I've been going down the basement with the cat toys, and she gets really wound up in the floof. She will enjoy these. Chip is indifferent to cat toys. Chip likes to play with, like, things that aren't cat toys. Like, if there's a large piece of kitty litter on the floor, he'll throw that all over the kitchen floor playing it. Or, one night we heard this skittery, skittery, skittery sounds, like, what is Chip playing with? In the morning we got up and discovered he'd been playing with a Lego BB-8. So we have to watch out for the Lego pieces. He will play with those. And little crumpled up pieces of paper he loves. And he does like the laser pointer. And he does like, for Christmas, husband got Chip a little remote control mouse. And Chip does love that thing. So, these are what I expected. Not this many though, wow. See, about 10, 11, 12 years ago, I know that the not chocolate Kit Kat craze was already huge in Japan. And they tried to bring them into the US. And I know you can still get not chocolate flavors in the US through specialty places, but like I walked into Kroger and there was this huge display with raspberry cream and orange cream Kit Kats, and I love those orange cream Kit Kats. And when they went on clearance, because apparently nobody else wanted to buy them because Americans just like their chocolate to be chocolate, I would buy them by the display box. So I'm so excited to try these. Thank you. And of course, anything with Hello Kitty on it is appreciated. These I would probably have to fight the child off. Well, no, I will share them with him. He likes fruity candies. He's kind of a weirdo. He does not like chocolate that much, except chocolate milk. And he can't stand peanut butter. And he doesn't like cookies, and he doesn't like cakes, and he doesn't like cupcakes. But if it's fruity, chewy fruity stuff, he's all about that. So I know these aren't chewy, but he'll probably like these. And then I see a bunch of Meiji Melty Blend. I haven't had these before. I've never had a bad Meiji candy. So we have fruity strawberry, premium cacao, creamy milk. This is matcha. Yes, green tea. And then what I didn't expect at all, I have a whole bunch of these knockoff dung. The Korean doll, DDUNG, the real ones are absolutely adorable, but is this a knockoff? It's just a real one. This is in pretty good shape. But it's a well-known doll in Asia, but it gets knocked off like on Alibaba a lot. And I've even seen dung knockoffs in Dollar General. And these heads are a lot of fun to put on larger doll bodies. And wow, there's an amazing number of them. It's like, this doesn't even matter that it broke because that head's coming off that body anyway. Wow, thank you. I did not expect these at all. I'm definitely adding you to the thanks sewing list whenever I get the money to send them. Thank you so much. I'm going to go tease the kiddo with some of these candy now. Thanks.